ranking the best evil Superman clones in movie and television history. That was kind of an oxymoron. I feel like we as a society are finally growing past that evil, dark, villainous Superman trope that has plagued media for a while, but I'm not gonna hold you, it's given us some iconic characters, and we have to rank them. And I'm not gonna hold you, this wasn't easy, but like I always say, the hardest choices require the strongest wills. And I don't miss. 7, I have the recent live-action debutant Ultraman. Unfortunately, he doesn't really have much depth because spoilers in 3, 2, 1, he's a clone of Clark created by Lex, uses a pawn. But I will say he does provide for one of the dopest action set pieces of the year with 1A! 6, I have Brightburn. This character begs the question, what if Clark still crash landed in Kansas as a kid, but had nefarious intentions and mediocre parents? Yeah, the kid's an absolute freakazoid weirdo who stalks his crush, and when he gets heartbroken, he takes over the planet. I'm not even sure Ma and Pa can't get to save this kid. But yeah, he's essentially Superman if he was a horror slasher villain. That's the whole shtick. Kicking off the top 5, I have Icarus. He was really just a good soldier following orders, preparing the planet for the emergence and the birth of the Celestial. Fortunately, his crew turned on him to save Earth, and because he could not live with his own failure, he control-alt deleted himself into the sun. It's a shame. His laser eyes were yellow and they made a cool sound. 4, I have Sentry, specifically the Void. What I like most about Bob is he's basically a mental health commentary on Superman and, how his dark side only comes out when he's having episodes. It makes you really care for the character because when the Void is out, it's not him. Like, that ending of Thunderbolts had me bawling! He's probably the strongest out of all the variants on this list because he has so many different powers like matter manipulation, and when he's the Void, he turns people into nuclear shadows! I promise you the people of New York, when they looked up and saw him, were like, let me know! 3, give me General Zod. Shout out to Michael Shannon, by the way, Man of Steel. I will find him! He's one of those characters that you understand why they're doing what they're doing, but in the end of the day, he is still imperialistic soldier Superman that wants to preserve Krypton by destroying Earth. So, I can't co-sign that, bro. Speaking of someone similar to Zod, I have Ammy Man, who provided for one of the craziest plot twists ever in season 1 of Invincible. One of the most compelling characters ever because what stops his ruthless intergalactic conquest is literally the love for his son, which is crazy. With that being said, though, he is a PTSD farmer. He took out the entirety of the Guardians of the Globe, decimated a city, destroyed countless lives, folded his son like a lawn chair, and then looked at him and said, why did you make me do this? Then after leaving his son looking like an effed up Jackson Pollock painting, he flees the planet because he's upset, has another kid with a different woman other than his son's mother. He is something special. At least he's changed.
Are you sure?
At number 1, though, give me Homelander. One of the most complex, sinister character studies. That brother cannot be saved. On top of being the greatest milkman of our generation, I don't think many characters can go evil for evil with him. Maybe Stormfront, but moral of the story, we're not the real heroes. He's the real hero.